The National Policy Director for Joe Biden's presidential campaign set the gun control world on fire yesterday. Stick by and watch this episode of Guns and Gadgets to learn more. So this Steph Feldman, who is Joe Biden's National Policy Director, she was on a Zoom call that was hosted by Georgetown University's Institute of Politics and Public Service. And what came out of that should have us all paying attention. First off, if you watch this channel, then you know the constant attack our right to keep and bear arms is under. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing to Guns and Gadgets. This is where you'll get the Second Amendment news. No matter where it happens in the country, whether it's good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, you'll find it here, and I would love to have you join this growing freedom family. So let's talk about what was said during this call. Now, Stephanie Feldman said this quote. She said that Joe Biden is planning to make big, bold changes through executive action, not just on policing and climate like we talked about previously, but in healthcare, education, and gun violence on a range of issues. She also added there's really a lot that you can do through guidance and executive action. This details just how important these two United States Senate runoff elections are in Georgia. If you're a Georgia resident, make sure you vote accordingly. If you live in Georgia and you're not registered, there's still time for you to register for this special election. If you live in and around the state, you can help. Talk to your friends. You can work with the campaigns of Senator Loeffler and Senator Perdue. You can check out gunowners.org/volunteer. GOA is doing a grassroots effort knocking on doors. There are a lot of groups and agencies that are helping, and we all need your help as well. Why, you ask? Because if the Democrats win both of those tickets, those two seats in Georgia, then it's a 50-50 split in the Senate. That would mean if Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, if they win the election, that would mean Vice President Kamala Harris would be the tiebreaker on anything that went through the Senate. There's already concern in the industry that Joe Biden will take an executive action on the import of AR-style rifles or assault weapons or AKs, etc., to stop the import of those weapons by executive action. And possibly and potentially the worst one he could do is, again, there's word that he is considering an executive order on the import of ammunition of certain calibers, as well as ammunition components for you reloaders out there. Certain calibers. Why is that important? Because if you go all the way back to the illegal and unconstitutional Gun Control Act of 1968, they have in that law wording on what types of ammunition are allowed. And the importation of ammunition is prohibited already in there unless that ammunition is, I forget the wording, it's like generally recognized or readily adaptable to sporting purposes. So if you get an administration and two chambers of the House that all of a sudden overnight say, you know what, 223, 556, 762, 39, or 54, 50 BMG, you name it, all this stuff, 300 blackout, that's not sporting, so we're going to ban that. And that is a serious concern. Take that with the fact that Biden has already said that he would look hard into ways of making possessing things we already own legally, make that illegal. He's also considering ways of putting ARs and AKs, etc., you name it, in standard capacity magazines under the National Firearms Act, the NFA, another unconstitutional piece of legislature. All this is brewing as he has, taken on some serious anti-gun people on his campaign, C. Beto O'Rourke and others. Now, I don't know about you watching this, but nobody gets to tell me that something I have purchased legally and lawfully, that overnight I can't have that anymore, and they demand to take it back via a buyback, which is another thing that Joe Biden promised during his campaign. Not happening here. There's going to be quite a few of us that make that decision, and the key factor, guys and gals, it is time to pull together as one unit. And the old saying, we must all hang together, or most assuredly, we will all hang separately, rings true to the times we're in right now. Eerily similar to things that were happening in the 1770s. Eerily similar. If you want to stay up to date on this information, this is where you're going to find it. Please consider subscribing to the channel. How can we help what's going on right now, the things that Biden is planning? I've already talked to certain pro-gun groups, several of them actually, and they're already planning on what actions need to be taken. So support those who support you. Join groups, you name it here. Second Amendment Foundation, Firearms Policy Coalition, Gun Owners of America. If you want to join the NRA, join the NRA. Whatever your state and local groups are that are doing the work, the membership is the lifeblood, and they are going to need a shot of lifeblood. Trust me when I tell you. Question of the day, sound off down below. If this happens, you're going to join us in the ranks of the outlaw? I'd love to see how many people sound off down below on that one. Guys and gals, thank you for your time. I appreciate much more than you know. If you got a spare second, head over to the Gundies. It's the Gundies, GUNDIES.com, and maybe vote for me in the Breakout Creator of the Year, as well as the YouTuber of the Year. That would be pretty cool. And until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a weapon, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.